Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It doesn't matter where you're listening in from. Welcome to the African MSME Collective space. We love it, love it, love it, love it to be here. It's always interesting to talk about issues that affect the MSMEs, and that's why we are here. Our role is to help MSMEs start, set up, stabilize, scale, and be sustainably successful. Why is that important? Because when you can rewrite the economic space, you can almost rewrite an economy. But the more people you're able to stabilize, then it helps us have a lot less friction, but it also ensures development. It ensures that our children are going in the right direction. So karibuni sana. For those who don't understand that wonderful language called Kiswahili, it simply means welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Our conversation is going to be around customer experience. Why? Because if you don't have a customer who's willing to pay and consistently buy your product, then you don't have a product. I'll say that again. If you don't have a customer who's consistently willing to buy your product, then you don't have a product. So then if you don't have a product, you don't have a business. Remember, our goal in business is to solve a problem, answer a question, sort a need, whichever you will go by. So in this space today, we'll be talking about customer experience because we firmly believe that it will stabilize our businesses. As always, my name is Kyesubire Talitwala-Greigg, and I'm co-founder at the African MSME Collective. My heart is storytelling. My life is MSMEs, so you can understand why I'm in this space. And on the hot seat, like you like to tell me when I'm on that side of the conversation, is my business partner, Joe Mukoko. Joe, my question for you today is what is the funniest thing you have learned in the last 7 days about micro business?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Kyesubire. I don't even know where you are, but let me just say hi. How are you?
I'm
How
good.
was the
How are
break?
you?
You know, we were on a break to recharge our batteries. Are you well?
I'm well. The break
Okay,
was really good. It was worth
okay.
it.
It's very important to rest. We told our entrepreneurs to rest, so we also needed to rest.
Yes, we did.
The funniest thing I have learned about micro businesses in the last 7 days is at times they don't understand their real value.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they can grow to be the next Safaricom, to be the next whatever big corporation you're thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
And it challenged me to adapt my conversations with them to as local as possible.
Mm-hmm.
When I go to an area and I'm looking around and I'm talking to that micro business, then my role model cannot be Safaricom for them. And my role model, sorry, let me not use Safaricom, my apologies. My role model cannot be a big corporate for them. My role model has to be who in that community can they look up to?
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, for micro, it's very straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
You buy, you sell. If you don't sell, there's no money.
Absolutely.
Even before we get to stories of advertise, market, make your shop to look attractive, it's very straightforward. You bought A for X amount, and you have to sell it for Y amount for you to make Z profit. As simple as that. So just helping them understand and let them shift from the mindset that they are not important was eye-opening. And then asking them, so if this is not important for you, why do you do it every day? Why do you go buy to come trade? And I realize we still have a bit of work to do in terms of shifting perspectives.
There is work. There's definitely work in that space. So, in reference to the fact that there's still work to do, let's jump into the conversation about customer experience. And what's a working definition? You know, a lot of the times we've got all these really technical theoretical decisions. What's an easy, practical, working definition of customer experience?
I would sum it as the perceptions we create in the eyes and minds of our customers about our products or services. Perceptions that we create in the minds and the hearts of our customers about our products and services. Remember, there are interactions that we have with our customers pre-purchase and during purchase and post-purchase. So it encompasses those three areas: pre-purchase, during purchase, and post-purchase. What perceptions did we create in the eyes of our customers about our product quality, about our pricing, about our brand, about ease of even getting hold of us and ease of transacting? That's how I would sum it up in an easy way.
So then it's every point of interaction they have with our brand. So then it has to, that means it then has to be holistic. So I can't focus on product features without thinking about when they come to the shop front, how my team interact with them, without thinking about when I send them an email, how polite I will be. So it's really the holistic experience, if I hear you right.
Yes, because even in that email, there's a tone.
Yes.
When we sit in your storytelling classes, we learn about putting emotions to our words. How did I send back feedback to that client who had complained? Or how did I respond to the inquiry that happened? How did I talk to the person who's walked into my shop? They are not buying now, but they've made an inquiry and maybe they will come back later. Or maybe even after some point. But what was that experience? What did we leave in their minds about us as a brand?
So that's why you said perception, because it's what we deposit, what we leave with them.
Let me give you an example. Yes, what we leave with them. I love using this example. You know, Nairobi is dotted with many exhibition stalls selling all manner of things. The only thing they don't sell is oxygen. But if I was to walk into a shop and I have seen this very nice shirt that I would like to get for myself, and when I walk in, number one, the shop attendant is chewing gum very hard, like her jaws are going, or her or his jaws are going to break. And the first thing they ask me is, "Sema customer." Already I'm scared. Then when I ask for a price, they don't lead me. They tell me 1,000 shillings and they continue chewing gum. Will you give me your money?
Maybe not.
Maybe not, unless you're desperate. But what if, when I ask the price, you gave me the price and then give me options and looked and told me it comes in different colors. This might not suit you. This can suit you. We have this different kind of options. See, in my mind, I already see you concerned about me. Other than, hey, dude, it's like a soft robbery. Give me your money or just forget about it.
Soft robbery. So for those who are not from Kenya, an exhibition stall is a very small space. It's usually about maybe 8.5 to 10 feet by maybe 10.5 to 12 feet. It's a really small space. And what has happened in our economy, really it pushes the micro businesses, is the larger spaces that used to be shops are actually divided into stalls and they generate greater income for the owner. So that's what Joe is talking about. So you can find in a space, a very small space, you have 12 to 15 shops and the competition is very high. So it's the experience you live. And as you talked about that, my mind went back to, I was in Uganda a few months ago, and we were in their section that has stalls but we went into the thrift section. Their shops were even smaller in that particular space, just like the ones we have at Toy Market. But what I found interesting is there are two gentlemen who we were looking for trousers for our sons, and they said, sit there. And they said, what color are you looking for? What fabric are you looking for? And now it became their business to go around the existing stalls and gather what we needed. The only reason we didn't buy is we already checked the price of new trousers, that there was very little difference. The difference was 1,000 Uganda shillings in the difference between the new and the second hand. So you know where we went, eh? But the customer care that we received in that section, oh my goodness, was excellent. And they brought us like maybe 15, 16 different trousers. And I believe we left with like 2. Because of simple things like length, one of the young men we're buying for is already 6 foot. So all the lengths they brought were really short. So we went for the other options. But it left us with a very great experience. And in respect to the two cultures, they were kinder, they were more polite than what we're used to. And I think that's important when you think about customer experience, because it's not limited to large corporations. It starts from the vegetable vendor on the street all the way to the large corporation. But when we talk about it like that, Joe, why is customer experience so important?
Thank you, Kyesubire. Let's assume I have a target to sell 10 shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And either myself or the person that I have delegated to in my shop treats customers who've walked through the shop the way I described, in a manner that did not show an interest or concern for them. I will not have sales. In fact, let me change that. I shall not have sales. So one, having good customer experiences increases our sales revenues and growth. Secondly, it reduces the customers that we churn out. And by churn, I mean the customers we lose. If I'm treated right, why should I go somewhere else the next time? I should just come back to you.
Yes.
Right? I was treated right. Now, that reducing means then I increase my customer loyalty. More sales, I've reduced the customers I am churning. My loyalty has gone up because they keep on coming back. What happens? My brand increases, my brand reputation or my brand value increases, because this customer will bring me more customers. Eventually leading to my competitive advantage or your competitive advantage increasing. My level of motivation goes up. I'm selling. I'm excited. I look for more products to come and sell. If I was bringing yellow shirts, now I bring purple shirts. Then convince customers why they should buy purple shirts. And then lastly, it reduces our cost of operations. The cost of acquiring a new customer is higher than the cost of retaining an existing customer. That is how I would put it, as the benefits of having good customer experiences.
You know, it's profound, because at the end of the day, what we're looking for is increasing our bottom line, being able to function consistently in the black. We had an interesting conversation a few days ago with the leadership of a certain organization, And I said to them, your role as leaders is to ensure that the company is heavily in the black, that the red is nowhere near the line. You're nowhere near the red line. And this for me has been a real trigger back to that conversation. Because then what you're saying is, when we take care of how our customers experience our product, enjoy our product, interact with our product, then we have done a good chunk of taking care of our sustainability as a business. And that for me, in an economy where we are in the globe, that's a big thing. That's a very big thing. But how do we then tailor and ensure that the experience we are crafting fits the customer?
Thank you, Kyesubire. Thank you for even that powerful reminder about sustainability. That's what we look for. Can I be in business for as long as I can? Can I not be a statistic that I went down? Well, my business failed. Not I failed myself, but the business failed. I would take us back to the customer journey map, which has got 5 stages. The awareness stage, the consideration stage, the decision stage, the purchase stage, and the post-purchase stage. This is where the benefit of good customer service comes in. We are all not the same, but at the awareness stage, we are exploring your product, wanting to know what is there. So for example, I've walked into your shop. I didn't know it existed. It's my first time in your shop. As the person who is handling me should take note of my first time visit. They should understand how to talk to me and how to lure me in. Okay? It's the first time I am dealing with you. I have never seen you. I have just walked into your place by chance. Or I have gone to your social media pages. Nowadays, we sell a lot on social media. And I've interacted with you. And the first time I've sent, hello, what is the response I get from you or your team? Could come immediate or could come in 3 days. If it comes in 3 days and we're doing this through social media, you've lost me. Remember, you keep on telling us about algorithms and all these things. So if I was looking for a shirt, tell me how many more options the metaverse shall give me or bring my way. So 1, understand at what point are you relating with this customer? When it comes to consideration, I am thinking of buying from you. How are you treating me? How are you talking to me? What options are you giving me? What value are you showing me then? Such that when I move to the decision stage, I've decided to buy, how easy is it to transact with you? I am grateful for pay bills. I am grateful for till numbers. How else can we make it easier? Is your bank able to give us a short code that you have the pay bill and then a shorter code rather than the pay bill and a 14, 15 number digit? I was even about to speak in Swahili. I'll even be tired by the time I'm typing in the 6th digit. I'm like, do I really need to do this? This is so much work. You know, then how am I being treated then? Is there excitement that I have bought? Is the mood right? Can I see happiness in the face of the person selling to me? You could be having your own internal problems, but remember, they always say the customer might not be right, but the customer is King Kong. Okay? How is it for me to complete that purchase and walk away? How are you packaging your products to me? How are you talking to me? How are you relating to me? And then post-purchase. It was my first time. Do you follow up? Do you find out if I had an issue and I've come back? Do you sort it out very fast? If it's not my first time to buy with you, it is my 10th time or 15th time, what additional thing can you give to show appreciation for having stayed with you and built your brand? That's how I'd put it. You have to understand at what particular point you're dealing with a client and then be able to know how best to talk to them. Remember when we were talking about even emails, if your email has the wrong tone and it's not even my first time to deal with you, I'll be, hey, where did that come from? Why am I dealing with these people? Joe and Sons is not a place for me to go and buy my leather shoes anymore. Let me go somewhere else. Back to you, Kyesubire.
So what I'm actually hearing you say is that we have to understand the data that our transactions are generating.
Exactly.
Because the way I know where we are converting is by tracking, is it from socials? Is it from one-on-one interactions? Is it referrals? And then now use that to then continually connect. And then is it like, let me just pick the socials angle. Is it the reels that are connecting? Is it the deals? Is it? So then we must consistently be monitoring the data that every sale is generating. And I think of, because you know our heart is very micro business, but this applies to all businesses. So on my way home, I walk past a set of informal food vendors. And there are few of them I particularly have now, after experience, singled out that I do not go to them, even if they're the only one on the street. And that's simply because one of them in particular, her mouth, oh God, her mouth is vile. She's fighting with everybody all the time. And when she starts, even the people sitting next to her look down. Because it's a market and you're here to sell. So even when she has excellent product, I've sometimes just stood and watched. Sometimes people go for a lower quality product because you get there and you do something and her mouth opens. And I'll give an example. One day she was selling avocados and mangoes, and this guy picked a mango, and you know the way you touch a mango to see, is it ripe? Is it, what the state of ripeness, which you don't press it, but you just feeling it in your hand. And she turned around and said to this man, you now must buy that mango. You have injured it, you have bruised it. And she went on. And it sounds really bad in Kiswahili, because she's not using light words. And the guy said, but I've not sijafinya kitu, I've not pressed anything. And she went on and on and on. So the guy ended up buying something he didn't want just because she bullied him into it. Now, I was headed to buy mangoes from her because she had the largest, juiciest, nicest. I went to the next person. And even as some people would say, but that's a street vendor, there's something you touched on about how our teams deal with customers. And the funniest one you find is, you open a shop, good morning to you. Or you walk into a shop, our local greeting, Sasa. And you're like, yo, okay. And you walk around and then you leave. So I think that the thing that we must remember as business owners is and this is something I struggled with sometimes until I realized the buck stopped with me as a business owner. If my team isn't able to convert, then there's two things. Either I've not trained them well enough, or they're the wrong fit for the shop. Which brings me to my next question around empathy. How does empathy increase our customer experience?
Thank you, Kyesubire. I'm not going to say to you. I'm not going to tell you to you. Yes, I'm going to say thank you. You talked about data. Let me use data or data, whichever. You see, we collect it at every point of our interaction with the customer during their journey. In awareness stage, we collect, someone might inquire but not buy. But we have their details, right? at purchase stage, we have their data. Post-purchase stage, whether it went well or it didn't go well, we still have that data. It brings us back to understanding the persona of your customer. Who is your target person? What are their pains? What are their needs? What do they want to do with your product? It's important to find out what job they're going to do with your product. I normally laugh and tell people, I don't know if you can see my enamel cap.
Yes.
So I use my enamel cap to take tea. For someone else, it's a decorative piece. For someone else, it's something to put pencils. For someone else, it's a tissue holder. In other places, it's somewhere to put bills. Like, for example, a restaurant. What are they doing with your product? Understanding them will help you know what excites them, what makes them happy, and what makes them fulfilled. For example, I love yellow shirts. The person who sells me clothes, he's always careful when he gets his first batch of stock. Anything yellow or anything closely related to yellow, he will send me photos to look at. I don't need to buy them, but he's understood me as an individual. And I have seen how he relates to each of us when I walk into his shop. For example, he will not bother to sell me a coat because he knows I won't buy. But you will see someone else walking and like, hey, we have a new batch, we have a new stock. It's the same thing when we go down to the micro business, and these people understood. Have you ever walked past one of those informal food vendors and they asked you, like usual? Okay. And even if you want to change the menu, you find him already slicing ingredients for what he assumes is what you will take for the day. One, understand at what particular point that your customer is. Then that enables you to personalize your experiences with them. I might walk into the shop and I didn't have such a good day, but what do? I still need to buy. How do you relate with me? And you being able to understand your target persona or your target customer ensures then that you're able to build trust with them. Now, the building trust then leads to, in the event there's an issue. For example, I asked for a yellow shirt. Chacha knows my shirt size. And I saw the photo and I liked it. And I asked him, send it over. And he sends. But then it's not yellow, it's mustard. Or a shade of something else. How does he resolve that with me? You see, if he's built trust and understood me or understood me over the years, when I call back and I'm like, Chacha, this is not yellow. This, I have nothing that can go with. Okay? How then is he able to pick back? You see, if he's built trust with me over the years, then it will be easy, like, okay, just bring it back. I'm sorry about that, and look for another option. Or even the food vendor. You sit and you realize, he's already brought you something that you didn't want to eat that day. How is he able to take it back and talk to you and make you still feel like King Kong, you know, and you're happy? You get? Now, all that shows the value that you're putting on your customer. That value creates loyalty. Empathy is everything. Empathy is the beginning of the customer journey, because I will walk in, how was I sorted out? And when I'm leaving, how have I been sorted out? And if there are issues in between, did you put yourself in my shoe? Or maybe we can't fit, maybe your shoe was a size 10. But did I put myself in that size 10 shoe and float a bit to feel like this is how you're floating. So how do I ground you as a customer? Back to you, Kyesubire.
I think that that's very powerful, because what it means that we must be present. We're not just automating like robots. And even in the space where we have automated processes, at the points of interlink with individuals, we must be kind and empathetic. Empathy is really walking a mile in somebody's shoes, feeling the pain they feel or the joy they feel. And you're right, everything you've described speaks the value of empathy. So what is one or two things you would say as a parting shot about the value of customer experience?
One, understand why you are in business as a business owner. And then secondly, understand who you want to serve with your why. Your purpose for being and who will pay you for that purpose. Because if I have a purpose and I target the wrong customers, then I will be doing a disservice to myself and to my target audience. You see, if you're in business for the right reasons, you will make sure that your client goes away with what they deserve to go away with, the value that you have promised, the value that you offered. Let them go away with that value. Times have changed. I think when a few years back, if I was to play back, remember when the hawking industry started in most of our major towns, there were very few hawkers. And they used to play such dirty games on us. They hold a shirt and you like it. It's a thrift shirt, the best. Tomorrow I will look like, you know? And then when you get home, what was packed is not what you saw and what you paid for.
Yeah.
Over the years, that has come and changed. The hawkers now they don't move around. Very interestingly, you have your slot.
Yes.
So that means you have to take care of the customer that you're serving. They will find you there tomorrow. And if you don't treat them right today, they will go to your neighbor. So understand your purpose, then understand who your customer is. That will give you the rights to serve them with empathy in a way that they can open their pockets and exchange value. You give them the product or service, they give you the cash that you deserve. That their answer to you will not be to you, will be hello. What else can I do for you? Thank you.
I like that. A happy customer opens their wallet.
Yes.
And on that note, it's important to just take time to think about and review your business. And if you're struggling with your sales, you're struggling with your bottom line, let's go back and look at what is it that has destabilized your customer experience and how can you do better? Because we're only as good as what we can sell. We are only as good as the product or the service we're moving. And because we're all in business, one, to build a livelihood, two, to make profit, and three, to solve people's problems, then it has to be that we have a clear focus on customer experience. Remember a couple of things. Empathy is everything. It's what helps you close. It's what helps you stay connected with your customers. It's what helps you sell and reach your targets. But also use the information you're getting to improve on your product and to capture your customer in a reliable, sustainable way. And finally, this becomes my parting shot for the day. A happy customer opens their wallet. From us at the African MSME Collective, we are hopeful that you have learned something or something has resonated. We have confirmed something for you by this show. And we say, it's been a good one. We shall see you as we continue this customer service conversation. Coming up next is another fantastic conversation about customer experience. So if you liked the show, please follow the channel, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, like the video. If you have questions you'd like us to answer, just drop them in the comment section and hit the notifications button so that when we go live again, you will have fast front seats. From us at the African MSME Collective, thank you and see you at the next show.